Friends, to the second edition of India's most watched YouTube video, Ajab Cat Ki Gajab Kahani. We will be talking to the Vice Chairman of Career Launcher India Limited, Mr. Gautam Puri, popularly known as GP. And it's a promise, we will be asking all those questions that have plagued your mind in the last 3 days. So let's go and ask all those questions. Firstly, is there a noticeable pattern that you have observed in the last 3 days?
If you look at the paper, the pattern has not changed at all. By and large, students are reporting that it is still a 60 question paper, 3 sections of 20 each in EU, which is English, English and RC, Quant and DI. So to that extent it has not changed. The level of question also as reported by them seems to be the same. Even in English, the same kind of question and similar number of passages are appearing. So from a pattern point of view, there doesn't seem to be any change in the paper. What also has not changed is the fact that many students are reporting that they are encountering questions which have been picked up from previous year's CAT papers. And so that also continues. Interesting thing which has been observed by many students is there seems to be a situation when same questions are being asked in different time slots, both in Quant as well as GI, and in a couple of cases even in English. So I would say the things are the same. What was there on day one is still continuing and likely to continue in the same manner.
What is your prediction for the coming days? See, you've observed the trend, so what is your prediction?
I don't foresee any change in the pattern per se. Also the fact that these question papers would have been prepared well in advance, I don't see any reason for the question papers to change also. If there was any change which had to happen, it should have happened by now. So I would say just go ahead with whatever has happened so far, assuming that will get followed. And if it doesn't get followed, it gets changed on a given day, it will be true for everyone. All of you will be on the similar platform, so it won't make a difference at all. But I don't foresee a change, either in the type of question or the pattern or the way these questions have been put. Just go ahead and relax in the paper and assume things are going to happen the same way as they have in the past few days.
My next question is, and this I'm sure will help a lot of those students whose exam have been cancelled and now been rescheduled. So what is your advice? Obviously they've gone through a big emotional dilemma. Their exams have been cancelled.
I would say they are the fortunate ones. Now they know what the pattern is. They are better prepared for the paper. Right. So between two sets of people, one, your paper could have gone through with 2-3 breakdowns and then restarts and then that would have been traumatic. Right. But your paper has been cancelled. You have another chance. You have those 3-4 extra days to prepare. You know what the pattern is. Start preparing all over again. You are fortunate to that extent. Okay. So don't let this worry you at all. Good for you. The paper got cancelled and you will get another chance. Prepare. You know what the pattern is. Look at those questions and start. And if you are fortunate enough to have gone through a few questions before your paper got aborted, you know what to do then. Okay. So focus on those questions which you saw in the paper. Try remembering them and see if you can do similar questions all over again.
Okay. My next question is for students who are yet to take CAT this year. So what is your advice to them?
The ones whose dates are yet to come in terms of taking the paper, I would say just go on to careerlauncher.com, go to TestGym and do lots of online practice. Second, based on the student feedback, since you know there is a likelihood of previous year CAT questions coming, it would be prudent on your part to go through those questions as well. They may or may not come, but at least you will be better prepared for them. So TestGym, previous year CAT papers and similar things is what you need to do. Remember, RC is not very lengthy, and because you know that the pattern is somewhat easy with respect to English, a little more difficult with respect to data interpretation and reasoning, your time allocation will have to happen accordingly. So essentially, if I just have to compress the whole thing, a couple of things: go back to TestGym, do lots of online practice, go back to previous year's CAT question papers, do lots of them, and hopefully things will fall in place for you.
My next question to you is, can you for the benefits of all our viewers, can you define the number of questions, or what can be bracketed as a good attempt?
Again, this will be based on student feedback of the last 3-4 days. It appears that in English you can comfortably attempt about 13 to 15 questions. 15, we will probably not be able to go beyond 16. because when it comes to questions like para completion or grammar, you may not be sure of the answer and hence you should be leaving it. Similarly, when it comes to RC, you may not be able to attempt all the questions, so you'll end up leaving 3 to 5 questions in English. So about 15 seems to be a very good attempt for English. Coming to quantitative aptitude, again the student feedback suggests that if you spend something like 45 minutes in this section, you should be able to do about 13 questions comfortably. On the outside, about 15 questions. So 40 minutes of English should give you about 15 questions, and similarly 45 minutes of quantitative aptitude should give you about 13, on the higher side 15 questions. The difficult section, as per the feedback, has been data interpretation and reasoning, and there also the feedback is that in data interpretation, the data interpretation part is easy, the reasoning questions are a little tricky and time consuming. So if you split the paper into data interpretation and reasoning, which is roughly 50-50, out of data interpretation you will be again able to do maybe about 6-7 questions and another 4 to 5 questions in the reasoning portion, which will give you a cumulative attempt of something in the region of 11 or 12 for data interpretation.